Hey guys, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I have my June TBR. These are the 6 books I'm reading physically, and I'm reading 3 on my Kindle. So starting off with 3 that I'm reading on my Kindle. The first one is A Favor for a Favor by Helena Hunting. This is a reread for me. I read it last year and I completely loved it. I love Bishop and Stevie so much. It's the second book in the All In series, and honestly I love that book more than the first one. So this is about Bishop. He is a hockey player, professional hockey player, and he suffers a injury. So yeah, and then Stevie is a physical therapist, I believe. She wants to treat people in sports. Yeah, that. So she gets dumped by she jumps her boyfriend on her birthday, caught him cheating with someone else in their apartment. So her brother RJ offers her his penthouse, the penthouse the team gives out to players, I guess. She lives there. She was making a ton of noise that night, so there she meets Bishop, who is rude and quite grumpy. So there they start their, it's not enemies to lovers by any means, is it? Not really. It has teammates, little sister trope, brother rival, I would say. The kind of rivals of brother and Bishop. And yeah, honestly it's one of my favorites. It's a 5 out of 5 star for me. The next one is Boss on a Leash by Kara Hart, and honestly this is about Ellie and Mark. Mark is a single dad who's trying to give everything to his little girl, make her happy, due to the fact he spends so much time with his business. So he decides to get her a puppy. I forget what breed the puppy is, but they're Allie's trying to get the same puppy as the guy, and they're both going to the same person who's selling it. So there she ends up not getting that one, and they start, it's attraction. They're attracted to each other when they first meet, and it's mainly Mark trying to get her number and whatnot. She ends up being his daughter's teacher. It's not bad so far, it's good. And the one that I think I started already, It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I don't know much about this book. It's just about this girl. Her name is Piper. She does a reckless thing which her grandfather is not very happy of, and it could cost him his besides costing him money, his deal he has with a hotel, I believe. So there he decides to send her to the place where her biological dad grew up, and have her make a life out of herself, basically. So far it's good. And the books I'm currently reading physically is the first one that I'm like 40% through with it. It's Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Honestly, I have been loving this book, as you can tell, so many tabs. And honestly, this is a romance, but what I love about this book and Beach Read is not only based on the romance, it's helping the main female. In both books, it's helping the female lead come to terms with her grief. From this one, it's her mother. So right here, Nora Stephens is a agent yeah, literary agent, and she meets Charles, who is our male lead in this book, and he is, I believe, an editor. So they meet 2 years prior, and they didn't get off on the right foot, basically. So they meet 2 years later when her sister Libby practically begs her to go on a trip since she is pregnant, about to give birth. She wants, I think, the last week or last month to go as smoothly with no hiccups, not worrying too much about her kids. And yeah, so there Libby goes. Nora goes with her since she can't say no to her little sister. And there she meets Charles, who was born and raised in that small little town in Sunshine Falls. There they start like a little friendship in a way, and honestly I've been loving it so far and can't wait to see how it ends, if they end up together and whatnot. Yeah, one that I picked up a while ago and I'm reading chapter 2 is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I believe this is about Archer and Bree. Bree is running away from her past. Yeah, basically her past. She doesn't want to relive what had happened, so she moves into a small city in Maine, I believe, or small town in Maine, to forget everything that had happened. There she meets, yeah, he knows things that he shouldn't know. And honestly, the first chapter is Miles Archer. I don't know why I was thinking about Miles. About Archer, the first chapter is Archer's POV when he was younger, and honestly that is, it's slow, I'll tell you that. I only got to chapter 2. I haven't read much, honestly, but I will give it a try when I finish either one of these two. The next one that is a top priority is Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. This, I believe Lauren Asher's books are slow burn. Yeah, slow burn. This is close to 483 pages, 183 pages. This is Marriage a Convenience, office workplace romance. So this is Declan. I am destined to become the next CEO of my family's media empire. The only problem, my grandfather's inheritance clause fulfilling his dying wish of getting married and have a hire seemed impossible until my assistant volunteers for the job. Our marriage was supposed to be the perfect the solution to my big problem, but the more we act in love for public, the more unreal feel about the contract. Caring about Iris was never part of the deal, especially not breaking her heart is inevitable. Iris, my plan to marry Declan was simple in theory: move together, throw a wedding, have a baby, set a rules to prevent any kinds of issue, ones that were never meant to be broken, no matter how much Declan tempts me. But what happens when our fake relationship bleeds into a real one? Falling in love was never an option, at least for me. Marriage a Convenience, they end up falling. Very excited for this one. I love that when it cuts off, you see the little wedding bands as well as the chapters. I haven't read it, but for Iris POV, she has a dress, and for Declan's POV, you have a suit. I find that so cute, and I think in the fine print, I forgot what it was, but yeah, very excited to read this one. I love Marriage of Convenience books. The next book is Unbreak My Heart by Nicole Jacqueline. This is about a girl named Kate who her best friend was Rachel. Rachel married the guy she loved, whose name is Shane. Well, Um, Rachel and Shane have been married for years. She gives birth to her last kid, but um she Rachel dies at childbirth. Kate has been helping Rachel take care of her Kate has been helping Rachel take care of her own kids. So they're Shane, with grief and guilt, they end up, I believe, sleeping together. He feels guilt and basically shuts Kate out and does want nothing to do with her. Excited to read this one because the guy does something very fucked up, and I wanted to read this and have, hopefully it makes me cry, maybe not. And for fantasy, I read the prologue, and it intrigued me very much, and it's Only a Monster by Vanessa Lee. So this is about what's her name? I forgot her name. The male lead is, we have Joanna. Mom, I believe, died when she was younger, so she has never known she is a monster. Monster. And then the male lead is Nick, who is a monster hunter. So in this book, the monster is not the hero. The monster is not the hero, but the villain. And the hunter, who is usually the villain, is the hero in this book. So in every story, there's a hero and a monster. She is not the hero. So I read the prologue, it's interesting, and I've gotten to chapter 1. I really want to read this one. I haven't read a fantasy book since I read what's it called, King of Battle and Blood. I'm very excited to read this one. End of my video. See you all next time. Bye.